Hi, everyone. I'm Rabbi Tuly Weisz from Israel 365 here with the CEO of Holy Gems. It's great to have with us today Tali, Shalem, and we've been talking for over an hour. I am so fascinated by Holy Gems. Thank you, Tali, for spending some time with us and telling us a little bit about your amazing company.
Thank you.
Now, Tali,
thank you for having me. Yeah.
You have Holy Gems is somewhat of a family business. You told us in the last interview about how your grandfather started the company and your father got this really prophetic blessing from the rabbi, and you found the gems, and so now you are following in the footsteps of your father and your grandfather. What's maybe even more unbelievable is that you have a large family. You have a number of siblings, but you're the CEO. You're the CEO, not your brothers, not your other sisters. Tell us what it's like to be following in these footsteps and living this legacy. Tell us about what that means to you.
Well, I've been working close to him for the last more than 15 years. So I learned that, I hope, everything there is to learn about the business, this business in specific, and business in general. He was very sharp businessman, but it was a natural, after he passed away in a very sudden way. I mean, it was very natural that I would take over the management, because also for the shareholders who knew me for a long time, and all the professional aspects that I had the time to learn. It was the right thing for everybody. And my brothers and sisters also, we are 7 brothers and sisters, and 4 of us working in the company, and we are working in perfect synchronization.
Beautiful.
And I think this is thanks to our parents, which, the most important thing all the time is stay together, be in peace. So it stays.
Now, in the religious community, in the Orthodox Jewish community, having a CEO who's a woman is a little bit unusual, not entirely unprecedented, but you're certainly a trendsetter. Has that been easy for you, or has that been challenging for you?
Well, sometimes, as you say, we're in 2023, it's not what it used to be, but it's still a masculine world, the business world, the religious world, the mining world. But I think that once you have the professionality, you're not, you're doing everything by how it's supposed to be, and people trust you. So it doesn't really matter. Your gender is not really relevant in this point. It's but there are times that you need to prove your professionality, sometimes more than a man should. But
Now,
it's okay.
The Holy Gems has not only a business and the goal of the business is to sell jewelry, but you have a very strong mission. Your mission, like, again, if anyone's watching this, you should really watch the previous interview where Tali really talks about the mission and the prophecy and how her father really had this drive to unearth the special blessings of the Holy Land. But you have a mission, and part of your mission also, I think, really has to do with modesty. I see on your website, which is holy-gems.com. So there are pictures of women that are much more modest than you would find in other jewelry advertisements. So tell us a little bit about how modesty impacts your company.
First of all, last time we spoke, we had we talked about our ability to control the market, and this is why we established our brand. Part of it was the ability also to have some brand values that were very important for us. We think those gems, eventually we believe this land is holy, and these gems come from a holy place. So it has to be like some kind of special treatment for this kind of, natural products. And so we believe that, conservatism and modesty, it's something that, we don't think that you need not to be modest and not to be conservative to show the beauty of this, of our products. Yeah. So this is part of our brand values. We don't shoot our, when we use models or we do collaborations and things like this with influencers and stuff, this is something that we ask for, we would like it to be conservative. Mm-hmm. Because we don't think that there's a need for that, Mm-hmm. And on a personal note, I think it correlates with the way that the places that the world is going to,
How else has your Jewish faith impacted you running the company?
Well, there are the regular things, we don't work on Shabbat, we don't work on holidays, although people tell us, why didn't you stay open? But you see, eventually it's good for business to keep those things. And in general, we don't have a lot of rules that we just, the basic things. And as part of this conservatism or modesty, as you refer to it, I think it gives a lot of high-end, respectable voice. It's not, you don't need anything else.
Right. I think you're right, completely. I think that by promoting your fine jewelry with modest models, so you're showing more respect for your customers and your consumers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit more about some of the values behind Holy Gems. And again, anyone who's watching should really watch the previous video and take a look at the website, holy-gems.com. It's a really fascinating story. Tell us a little bit more about some of the values, either that your father taught you and your siblings, or maybe about the blessing that you received on the company and how that helps you make decisions.
Well, we are the Chabad followers, we have the Rabbi, and it's very easy to when you decide to follow a certain movement or a certain way of life, and you believe in it. So there's no struggle.
Let me just
you have somebody to rely on.
Let me pause.
Spiritual as it sounds, it is reliable.
Just to pause for a moment. So not everybody might be familiar. You're referring to Chabad and the Rebbe. So Chabad is a movement within Judaism. It's known as the Hasidic movement. And the Rebbe was the rabbi who led Chabad, and very famous rabbi who his picture is all over the world, and continues to have a major influence on his followers today. And like you're saying, Tali, so when you have a leader like that, so there's something very comforting.
There are no questions,
No question.
It's easier. It's just easier.
Mm-hmm.
You put your faith and your trust in God, and his messengers, you know, and you just, it's easier. It's easier to live this way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a very important lesson, especially coming from a CEO. You don't hear CEOs talking about putting their faith in God. And so it's very refreshing not only to have a woman CEO talking about modesty, but also talking about faith in God is something that sadly is very rare, just like your gems are very rare. And so I think that anyone who is looking for a beautiful gift. So there's so many reasons why Holy Gems is such a miraculous and blessing. And so thank you for your commitment to bringing the beauty of Israel to the world and for sharing your unique style of leadership and faith.
And thank you for having me. This is an amazing project for us, and on a personal note, it's not just a mission of bringing these gems to the world. It's my personal connection to my father and everything. So I'm very blessed, and I thank you for having me and for letting me tell our story. Thank you.